early afternoon, 1:55 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on this Thursday, August 3rd, 2023. I'm XRP Future Millionaire, and I reside in the great state of Michigan. Make sure if you're looking for the XRP technical analysis, you look at my video from about 3 hours ago now. It's still very relevant. No reason for me to do another one, as it's still within that same formation, and it gives you a lot of information. But right now, if you're an XDC holder, you're going to want to watch this and you're going to want to pay attention. At the end of this video, I will read this partnership from XDC, how XDC Network has partnered with Infocom Media Development Authority, IMDA, in Singapore by completing their integration with Tradetrust digital utility. This was confirmed in multiple sources through headlines on July 28th. So we'll get into that just so we can at least show you a backstory on parts of the reasons why the price is actually having an expansion here. So what first looked like for the XDC price, it looked like we could have formed a short-term broadening wedge here in the beginning, quickly formed into a rising channel. So I still keep this down here in case this channel were to break. We lose 573. And we're looking for a possible extension down. So resistance, support, resistance, support. Now we've broke up here in the resistance, created a new uptrending support. So we have resistance, support, resistance, support, support, back to resistance. Then we came back in and now we've bounced out and held it as support. We have that 838 level that we need to get up and break, and then ultimately break this pattern formation high right around that 896 level roughly. So right now what we're trying to do is confirm a breakout of the rising channel that was formed. It looked like a short-term broadening wedge to start, but it quickly formed, like I've been saying, into a rising channel. And that was conditioned. We would know that if it held to 557 and bounced up, and that's exactly what it did. So we knew this channel was formed. Now, that doesn't mean that if it breaks back in here that this could be a channel that was a short-term metric and then it falls back lower. But right now, I'm pretty comfortable saying that we broke out of a rising channel here. And now if we can hold this as support, we still have some upside here. And if we go back into the farther side of the pattern, which you could be looking for, here's some consolidation. But if we do break this area, your top area up here where we first started this drop is all the way up here at about 10.8. So is it going to get up to 10.8? No one's saying that. But if it breaks through this area, it definitely could give you an opportunity to run just a little bit higher here. So let's just put that horizontal line there, just a light line just so we can see it. Now let's make it darker because that's a resistance. So that's our big resistance up here. I darkened it up. So it's 10.8 roughly. And that would complete a full term cup and handle. But right now, we've come up to this area for the cup and handle on the short term. We've actually formed this. Now the question is do we come back down into the channel? This is what we have to decipher. So let's look into the shorter time frames. 4 hourly, we're still holding support. Daily, what are we looking like in the weekly? I'm assuming in the weekly we're probably going to have this big cross here. Almost finished with the short-term trend reverse, so it'll finish through and reverse this back into a true golden cross here, as it would recross every single time frame. So this is looking very bullish right now for XDC. So I'm not going to confuse it too much. So what you're looking for here with XDC, if you want to continue moving up, hold this channel, the rising channel, and the support's going to be around the 759 level. So you hold that and we can continue up. Our major resistance right now, first level is 833. The second level is going to be right here at the top of this pattern formation. The 899 level, which was the swing high so far roughly. And then if you get past that, your target would be 10.8 roughly. So pay attention to this if you're an XDC holder. There's definitely potential here. Definitely potential. If we continue moving up, if we fall back into the channel, you know the ways it can go. And then obviously we still have what you could perceive as a broadening wedge if it were to break down. But it looks like to me it's in a rising channel. But I like to keep everything up here just so we can see where we could potentially go to. Make sure you hit that like button if you got anything out of that technical analysis. And consider subscribing to the channel. And before I leave, I want to leave you with this. But make sure you use positivity over negativity. And don't let your emotions dictate what's coming next. Let the charts, along with the news, dictate the perception and reality of what's going to happen next on the charts. And also what's going to happen in the real world utility for XDC and the XDC network, X and Fin. fintech. I mean, XDC, XRP, XLM, all in the same. You should own the 3 X's equal weight. We own in this community. I own, if you're following my footsteps, 12,222 XRP, XLM, and XDC. So while XRP is correcting XDC, we bought in at 2.9 cents. So we're up healthy right now. We're up about 200% since we bought XDC, or at least close to it. Not quite 200%, about 160. So let's read this good news here. So XDC Network has partnered with the Infocom Media Development Authority, IMDA Singapore, by completing their integration with Tradetrust Digital Utility. So Singapore News File Corp, July 28, 2023. XDC Network, an open source carbon neutral enterprise grade EVM compatible layer 1 blockchain network, has completed an important milestone as part of efforts to further digitalize global trade. This integration with Singapore's Infocom Media Development Authority's IMDA Tradetrust, a framework that enables trusted interoperability of electronic trade documents across various digital platforms. As part of this new collaborative effort, IMDA's Tradetrust can verify and transfer documents, which can bring more visibility to trades, proof of authenticity, and origins of documents, enabling a more seamless and efficient flow of goods between digitally interconnected trading partners. This partnership is another milestone for XDC Network in the space of trade finance. They already have a cross-border payment and financial messaging platform, which is ISO 20022 compliant. XDC Network is being used by many financial institutions for asset organization to distribution. Incorporating Tradetrust into XDC Network brings in the much-needed utility the industry has been waiting for. We are keen to playing our part and look forward to working together with the industry and providing benefits as operational efficiencies created by digitized bills of lading, supply chain automation, risk management solutions, new capital markets, and improved access of capital for SMEs, says Sunil Senpati, CEO XDC Trade Network. IMDA is excited to partner with XDC Network to provide another blockchain-enabled platform that will enable government bodies and businesses to digitize cross-border trade with the growing demands of blockchain globally. XDC Network, as a partner of IMDA's Tradetrust, is one of the solutions for trade finance. We will continue to work closely with industry partners to push the envelope in global digital trade, said Mr. Lo Sin Young, Director, Tradetrust IMDA. Tradetrust is a framework that compromises globally accepted standards connecting governments and businesses to public blockchain. Tradetrust has proven capability in tracing the source of digitally issued documents and verifying their authenticity. Examples of use cases include validating the authenticity and provenance of government-issued documents, title transfers of electronic billing, of lading, and more. With this, XDC is also launching a special purpose entity named XDC Trade Network. This entity will primarily focus on the interoperability of MLETR solution and private liquidity for trade documents developed on a MLETR compliant solution. Trade finance gap, which is currently estimated at $2 trillion, affects mostly the SMEs as the solution brings in more visibility and verifiable trade documents. XDC is confident to bring in institutional investors, non-bank liquidity providers, and alternative credit funds to participate in the functional solution along with functional solution, where the heck was I at? To bring institutional investors, non-bank liquidity providers, and alternative credit funds to participate in the trade finance markets. Pilots for this solution are already underway. A fully functional solution along with regulated custodian will go live in September. With MLETR gaining momentum, our solutions should drive digitalization across trade partnerships. This would lower compliance costs, ease access to capital for SMEs, allow monitoring of logistics chains in real time, and even help prevent documentary fraud. With so many nations actively working to push through the enabling regulatory framework, we feel our solution is very timely. We can say cross-border trade is increasingly looking more digital. We are keen to play our part and look forward to working together with the industry further, added Sunil Senapati, CEO XDC Trade Network. So that's the information I wanted to give you. Make sure you hit that like button. Consider subscribing to this channel. And if you're an XDC fan, there's a lot of good news that has been put out. And this is just the beginning, folks.